Hi, I'm Bill McLaughlin, Editor-in-Chief of Furniture Today. Welcome to this week's edition of Frontline Friday. It's been a busy week in the executive suites of some key furniture manufacturers, with Jeff Young taking over the CEO role for the departed Jeff Cook at ART. And Klausner announced yesterday that Bill Wittenberg will be transitioning to a board seat as the company brings in a new CEO, Terry McNew, from Mastercraft Boat Industry. That's part of a transitioning of the C-suite of that company, positioning it for the next stage of its growth. They also have brought in a new COO and a new CFO. So you can read the full story on Furniture Today and FurnitureToday.com. And if you will also be reading an interview with Mr. Young at ART in an upcoming issue, as our intrepid Tom Russell will be sitting down with him to get his thoughts on what lies ahead for that company. So Tom, what else is going on? I see you there with some interesting numbers to report.
Yes, Bill. Every 6 months, as our readers know, for a long time we've tracked imports and exports. Well, our research for the first half of this year shows that furniture imports were down about 4% overall, which that drop was led largely by drops in China of 17%. Now that may not sound like a huge number when you consider how much volume is shipped from China. It's a pretty big number. Vietnam up about 20%, as we would expect. And other countries that took up some of the game were Malaysia, Indonesia, India, and Taiwan, interestingly. Poland actually had a 19% drop, which is sort of unusual.
I actually am surprised by that, since we've been hearing so much about Poland looking to make a major effort to export to the U.S.
And that's true. The exports from the U.S. to other countries were down about 7%, led by a huge drop of 42% to China. And that, we believe, largely has to do with retaliatory tariffs. But it's interesting, South Korea was the only market that saw an increase in furniture purchases from the U.S. market. Every other market, all down up into the double-digit realm. So it's quite an interesting dynamic that's going on out there.
So many times those figures seem so static, and all of a sudden there's a lot going on. Global sourcing very, very much in the news these days.
Yes.
So Clint, it was a busy week in retail this week, particularly in terms of financials.
Yeah, a lot of quarterly reports were coming in this week. In almost all cases, sales were down. We had Aaron's actually posted an increase of 1.1%, but it was mostly due to their Progressive Leasing. Their actual Aaron store business was down. Same-store sales were down. Ethan Allen, sales were off 7.4%. Havertys posted a slight dip in sales, 0.6%. Same-store sales down 0.4%. And Berkshire Hathaway, their home furnishings division, which is the big Jordan's, Nebraska Furniture Mart, Star, and RC Willey. They reported a relatively unchanged results in the first quarter revenues and a decline for the first 9 months. And let's see, and then Wayfair, their sales were up, but as one analyst put it, they beat much less than normal on the top line, and he was unhappy with their guidance for the fourth quarter. And also, in a lot of these cases, the retailers were sort of pointing to tariffs as an issue with their sales results and earnings results.
And it looked like Wayfair took a little bit of a hit after their results from Wall Street. So I think there's starting to be some questions about what kind of patience Wall Street has with regard to their performance.
And that might be like the bigger Wall Street picture, how, like companies like WeWork, all these companies that have IPOs that have come to fruition that are all about sales growth, but but not making a profit. There's it seems like Wall Street is souring to that. So maybe they're being affected by that as well.
It should be interesting to follow going forward. So as you can see, as always, there's a lot going on in the furniture industry. Please stay tuned to Furniture Today and FurnitureToday.com to keep up with all of it. Till next week, I'm Bill McLaughlin with Furniture Today, wishing you good business.